Coming up, we have stories about an update to telling my stepkids I no longer view them as my kids. Shout out VIP group. It's an entitled people live stream with an entitled bride, entitled customer, and entitled neighbor. All the entitlement packed into one show. Here we go. Unaccommodating grandparents, husband's ex-wife tries to name our baby, and setting boundaries with siblings. We have an update to the Am I the Astronaut for telling my stepkids that I no longer view them as my kids. I am back with an update, and before I give the update, I want to start by answering a few of the main questions I saw. I saw a lot of questions that asked, why do we allow their mother in their lives? I'm not over that my husband feels like it's not on him to keep the girls from seeing her. He will ask if they want to, and they say yes. Another question I saw a lot of was, why doesn't their dad say anything? He does. He's taken away their things and has tried to have talks with him. They just listen and block him out. The reason why he stayed out of it is because whenever they don't like something I tell them, they run to him. He has said he does side with me on this, but feels I was too hard on them. The update. A few days after I posted this, my husband and I sat down with the girls and I told them that I was sorry for what I said and that I worded it wrong. I told them I still view them as my kids. They just aren't allowed to call me mom anymore and have to call me by my name now. I also told them that our relationship is broken and I didn't break it. I did help a little, but they broke it. And if they wanted it back to how it used to be, then they would have to rebuild it. I also told them that they have to play with their brother for 3 hours and apologize to him. He's 4. They had a few more punishments, but we did talk to them and we tried to figure out what she says that influences them so much. We got the answer of, I don't know. We told them that they can't be easily manipulated, and especially the 16-year-old, with her going to college soon and trying to drive, so we talked about things that could happen with that. We also told them that they can't just say what they want to people and expect things to stay the same, especially if it's stuff that hurts people. They apologized for the things they said and how they acted and said they wanted things to go back to normal. I told them that I would forgive them when they did the stuff with their brother first, and if they want things back to normal, then they would have to work for it. From what they said, they don't want to see their mom for a long time, so they will go to their therapist soon and talk to her about this. Edit. I've worded myself very wrong. They have to play with their little brother as an apology to him. He's 4. If they apologize, he's going to say it's okay and then continue to ignore them. So it's not a punishment, it's more of his apology. Okay, let's chat about that. Did you learn anything from this, Tater?
I learned that it's particularly messy. I mean, listen, navigating a blended family, it's always hard. It's not always like a walk in the park. It's not always easy. I do think that she is remorseful of saying what she said to them, but I also think that like something has to give, like with the mom being so involved with like coming back whenever she wants and just having free reign. Mm-hmm. Like I think that should stop. And I don't know what that looks like or with the courts or however that's worked out. But I can't imagine navigating a family for 2 years and then someone coming and throwing a wrench in it and me taking the next 6 to 9 months having to right that ship.
And that being a cycle.
And being a cycle, honestly, yeah, over and over again.
Over again.
And I get why she broke and I get why she did it. It doesn't make it right. And it still is something that she did that's wrong, but I understand it because it's an endless cycle and it hasn't stopped. But I don't know, telling your kids that they're no longer your kids, like that's, everyone's done harm to each other and it's going to take a lot to right the ship that is completely off course.
How do you feel about OP's, the relationship is broken and I didn't fix it?
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I didn't like how
like it, brother.
You can't put it on the kids. I get it, but they're still kids and the 16-year-old should know better. They should know what they did is completely wrong.
Yeah.
Both of them are old enough to know better than to act like that and to tank their family. But take accountability in front of your kids.
Actions do need consequences, Rexy. I think,
and I agree with the consequences. I agree with the apology to their 4-year-old brother being playtime and
something
not
that would matter to
something
him.
That matters to him. I agree that that's a good apology, and I'm glad that she came back and fixed what she stated. I think that is a smart apology for a 4-year-old is to spend quality time, because that is something that's going to mean something to them. But I don't know if it's going to work unless their intent is there.
I think as a parent, you have a duty to, with your consequences, teach, right? Like the common thread through everything here needs to be not just what pain are they experiencing for the wrong that they've done, but how am I teaching them to be a better human so that we avoid this for the next time, right?
Yep.
So I think even with the kid, I think the conversation should have been like, you need to understand that you hurt me, and it's what I feel is damage that's going to be very, very hard to fix here. Also, I feel like you've damaged the relationship with your little brother, and that's going to be difficult to fix here too. What's your plan to fix that? This is my husband's coworker expected me to film her wedding for free, then dragged my name through his office when I refused. Originally posted October 13th, 2025. It's fresh. I'm 29 female, a videographer. I do weddings, small events, and promo videos for local businesses. My husband, 34, works at an architecture firm, and one of his coworkers, I'll call her Rachel, got married last month on Saturday, September 28th. Rachel told me about her wedding early last month. We met each other at an office barbecue my husband's firm was hosting. She came over very friendly and said, "OMG, I just found out you do wedding videos. You have to do mine. It'll be so nice to have someone I already know behind the camera." I smiled and told her, sure, I'd love to send her my rate sheet. My prices are normal for the area, $1,800 for a full day shoot, editing and a highlight reel. That's a bargain. She smiled and said she'd check it out, and that was it. A week later, she texted me saying, "Wait, I thought since we're basically family through your husband's job, you'd give me a friend discount or maybe do it as a gift?" Smiling heart face emoji. I told her nicely that I don't mix personal or work connections with free jobs. I've seen how messy that gets, especially with people connected to my husband's office. She read it and didn't reply. Days passed and my husband came home from work looking uncomfortable. He said, "Hey, just a heads up that Rachel's been telling people you're doing her wedding video." I was stunned because he knew I had not agreed to anything. I texted her asking why she would say that, and she replied, "Oh, I just assumed you'd changed your mind. I've been so stressed, I figured you'd understand." You assumed I would give you $1,800 for a wedding gift when we barely know each other? Come again? I told her clearly that I wasn't available that weekend and had already booked another client. She just said, "Okay, but I really hope you reconsider." The wedding day on the last Saturday of September 28th at 7:10 a.m., my phone started ringing nonstop. It was Rachel. When I finally picked up, she was crying and yelling that her videographer had canceled at the last minute and she needed me to come through for her. I can't imagine why her videographer canceled at the last minute. Could it be that she didn't have one? I told her I had another client and couldn't just abandon them. She completely lost it, accusing me of being heartless and ungrateful after she had always been so nice to me and my husband. I told her this was exactly why I don't mix work and personal connections, and I hung up. I blocked her number right after. My husband did end up going to the wedding for a few hours since it was a coworker event, and he didn't want to make things more awkward at work. He said it was tense, and Rachel barely acknowledged him. This past week, HR called my husband into a meeting. Turns out Rachel emailed them claiming I had agreed to film her wedding and then backed out last minute, causing her to lose precious memories. She even implied that I was somehow representing his firm because we're married. My husband had to explain the whole story to HR, and thankfully they believed him, but it was still embarrassing for both of us. It's shocking that Rachel didn't stop at that. She made a Facebook post that night complaining about unprofessional videographers and tagged my business page. I had to contact Facebook to get it removed. Apparently people in my husband's office are acting weird around him, like I'm the stuck-up wife who refused to help. I've worked hard to rebuild my name and reputation, and I'm furious that someone's entitlement could threaten that, all because she didn't want to pay for a service. Some people really think knowing someone equals owing them. Relevant comments here. Commenter 1, if I was your husband, I would file a complaint with HR about Rachel's harassment. It's as simple as that. OP says he's done that already, and HR has warned her to stop any further actions regarding the matter, or it'll be handled over to legal court, which she'll definitely be penalized for. Commenter 2, file a suit for defamation. Did you screenshot the review on Facebook? OP says yeah, but my husband says I should just keep it safe for now in case the matter escalates, since the matter is still under the HR custody. Commenter 3, did she really have her own videographer that canceled at the last minute, or was that just another manipulation ploy to force you into doing it for free? Keep all your proof of conversations between you and her, and if things don't settle down for you in your husband's workplace, then take appropriate actions to shut that entitled asshole down. OP says she's just a confused soul trying to make sense of a world that never made sense to her. Proofs are intact. OP's being a lot more understanding than I would be here. Before we dive into the update,
Yeah.
let's chat for a second here.
This bitch searched under her couch cushions for all this audacity because I can't even imagine like where people get the delusion to just like be like, I met you and I said hi, so now you're going to give me $1,800 for free.
I'm shocked
Like,
that this bizzo can hold a job at an architecture firm.
This is like some next level entitlement that like, where do you find it? Like, where do people get the just like the gall?
You know who the real you know who the real victim is in this story, right? This bizzo's new husband.
I know. I knew you were going to say. Hey, you know what?
She got married that day.
He did it.
And he went through with it.
He proposed. Maybe he didn't. I don't
Maybe
know.
he hasn't seen the crazy yet.
OP, I'm so glad that you had firm boundaries. I'm so glad that you had everything in writing. And also to take this back to your workplace and make it an HR issue is just a misuse of HR resources because this is not even remotely workplace shit. And OP legitimately told them, I don't mix business with, I don't mix it. We're not mixing it. This is not happening. This is not something that I'm going to do. And Rachel's like, bet. Okay. So we're just going to mix it right up and stir it in.
Yeah, she made it. So if I'm HR, like this bizzo's gone immediately because she started bringing interpersonal conflict that took place outside of the office into the office. And it was her own making also. But OP, I do want to challenge you on something here. Your hubby says, leave it be for now because it's under HR's jurisdiction. It's not. His problem inside the office is indeed in HR's jurisdiction. Your business's problem, HR can't help you with. This is a you and your business problem, and I would immediately get an attorney involved. Immediately. Diving into the update 2 days later. Hey everyone! I posted a while back about my husband's coworker, Rachel, who expected me to film her wedding for free, then dragged my name through his office and even HR when I refused. I wanted to give a quick update since a few people have requested it. So, Rachel actually apologized. Apparently, after HR looked into everything and my husband explained the full story with messages to back it up, they made it clear she had crossed some serious line. This morning, she sent my husband an email owning up to it. She said she realized she had been unprofessional, that she had made assumptions, and that she never should have told anyone I was filming her wedding before I had agreed. She also admitted that posting about my business on Facebook was out of line and she would take it down. She told my husband she'd clarify things with a few coworkers who had heard her side of the story too. And Facebook, right? You have to actually set the record straight on Facebook, not just take your shitty post down. Honestly, I didn't expect her to apologize at all, so that was surprising. I'm still not thrilled about the damage control we had to do, but I appreciate that she at least took responsibility instead of doubling down. She only did that because she was forced to, honey. Hopefully, this is the end of it. Thanks again to everyone who backed me up in the original post. Y'all made me feel so much less crazy about standing my ground. Relevant top comments here. Commenter 1, someone probably explained to her she could be sued for defamation. OP says, I think so. She just came back to her senses. Commenter 2, I would get your husband to ask a couple of colleagues if she actually did clarify the situation with them, as she claimed she did. After all, she did lie wildly in the first place. Why would anyone trust her when she says she's rectified things at work? Great if she did actually take responsibility. No harm in him making sure. Trust but verify. Commenter 3, people have a great capacity of lying to themselves. It took HR's pressure for her to step back and get a clear look at herself. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. She's just covering her own ass now to get herself out of trouble. That is the only thing she is doing.
This bizzo is
not taking responsibility.
She's not sorry.
No, hell no.
I still think like bad news travels fast. And the fact that she's told people at work and those people at work have told the story, like it's spreading. And so even though she's going to walk back a couple of steps, not all of them, it's still word of mouth is the best form of advertisement. And it's also the best way to shut a business down. And so I think she's trying
to cancel you.
There's still some defamation like that's happening. And I feel like there's some, I don't know.
I feel like legally this would be what I would want. I would want her to post a video clarifying that she had lied and that she was extremely sorry for the damage that she did in my business and essentially owning up to everything in this video. And I would want that video boosted within my service area.
I would send a letter from an attorney.
Yeah.
Because at this point, her telling people has already spread. Her Facebook post has already spread. And she's already done the damage. The damage is done. A public apology, yes, Spirited Day needs to happen.
Am I the Astronaut for refusing to visit my parents because they won't accommodate my daughter? Me, 35 female, and my wife, 50 female, have a 5-year-old daughter, Mia. Mia was adopted at birth and has been the best thing to come into me and my wife's life. Mia doesn't have a proper diagnosis yet, but the doctor is pretty sure she's autistic. We are currently in the process of getting her officially diagnosed so she can get support at school. One of Mia's biggest issues is textures, and especially textures around her feet. She hates walking on carpets that feel funny and will often make one of us carry her if the floor feels wrong. Recently, my parents updated their house and put in new carpet. When I took Mia over for a visit, she had a meltdown over the carpet's texture, and I had to carry her around the house the entire visit. I messaged Mom a few days ago and offered a solution so Mia could come over and play. We would buy her a brand new pair of shoes just for inside the house so she can comfortably walk on the carpet without any issues. My mom thinks that this will ruin the carpet and has refused the idea. I told her it's either the shoes or they come over to our house to visit Mia, as she will not step foot on that carpet without her shoes on. I'm now supposedly a bad daughter for not trying to come up with any other solution, even though I have thought about it, and this is genuinely the only thing I can think of. Mia can only wear one brand of shoe in one specific style, so slippers are out of the question. Okay, that's it. Let's chat about this for a second here.
So grandparents are choosing carpet over their grandchild.
Carpet.
May this type of grandparent never find me. And I will never be this type of grandparent, because I think finding or buying a pair of shoes, if they don't want outside shoes on their carpet, which is totally understandable, to just specifically wear at their house.
Like they could stay inside the door. Like they could keep them there. You know what I mean? They could have them safe there. They think it's going to ruin the carpet. And I understand people have a lot of feelings about their carpet, right? But if you have indoor shoes, like that's a solution.
How is the weight of a 5-year-old with a pair of shoes on, or the weight of an adult without shoes on, going to affect the carpet? Like, how is that going to affect the carpet? I don't know. I feel like this is a very strong thing, but I feel like grandparents are ask on one, because this is such an easy solution, and it just pisses me off that they're blaming OP for this, and they're like, oh, you're a bad daughter. Like, f you. No, I'm not. Like, you're a bad grandparent. I'm sorry, but I don't know why, but I feel very strongly about this. And I'm like, this is a real thing. People have real aversions to textures. Like we went through like similar things with Kieran when she was younger, and like socks were like, it was a very bad time until we found a pair of socks that like and she still to this day wears those socks. And to do something that you know is going to harm a child, and sensory issues are real, and to do this and be like, no, you're a bad grandparent.
Okay,
I'm sorry. This enrages me.
It does me as well. And I feel like it's not about the carpet. I feel like it is about them refusing to acknowledge that this is a thing. Number one, I
agree 100%.
It's ignorance for them to just be like, oh, that's just made up. That's just in your head. So it's ignorance. So they're refusing to accept that this is a thing, which also means that they're refusing to accept her as a part of their family. Because here's the question. It
feels like it's all running very deep with your parents.
If she was a bio grandchild, would this be a problem? This may be their way of standing up to multiple things here, right? That they don't agree with.
Do not take your baby back to this house. Like, they're giving bad vibes.
Yep.
From a Reddit story that they didn't even write, they're giving bad vibes, and I don't like it.
So you
ask on one.
Entitled guy tries to convince my wife to let him break my office rules. I let some people use the meeting room in my office for their business meetings in the evenings for a couple of weeks. It was an MLM group my friend was a part of. I told my friend they couldn't use the Wi-Fi for security reason. My wife works for me, and she stayed at the office while the people were there one evening. This guy who I've never met comes up to her with a cocky, entitled attitude and said, I need the Wi-Fi password, give it to me. She told him he can't have it. He responded, your boss, insert my name here, said we could have it. You know him, right? I don't want to have to call him and get you in trouble for not giving me the password. My wife's response, yes, I know him. I sleep in the same bed as him every night. Go ahead and call him. Let's see how that conversation goes. The guy scurried off with his tail between his legs. Oh, that's fantastic. The power play Especially when husband and wife work together and people try to pull that. It's happened here before, too.
100%.
It's happened here before, too. It doesn't work out so well.
I don't want to have to call the guy who owns the place, but I will if that's what needs to be done. I'm like, it was especially great when my last name was not Storm.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay.
And people would say they wanted to talk to me instead. I'm like, yeah, you don't understand how the hierarchy works around here. But yeah.
I love that she said, yes, I know him. I sleep in the same bed as him every night, because that's definitely something that I would say. Also, the entitlement of people, like, where do they get it? Where does it come from? That's what I want to know. Like, what in your brain is like, lie and people will bend at your will?
Am I the astronaut for rejecting the names my stepdaughter suggested for my son because my husband and I know they're from her mom? My husband has an 11-year-old daughter, Luna, with his ex, Paige. There was DV in my husband's relationship with Paige, and he filed a police report when he finally worked up the courage to leave when Luna was 10 months old. No charges ever came to pass from the report, but his injuries were documented at the hospital at the time. Because there were no charges pressed when it came to custody of Luna, a judge ordered 50-50 and didn't agree that Paige should lose any time with Luna over accusations such as those. That's a problem. I met my husband when Luna was 4, and I met Luna just before she turned 6. I knew going into our relationship that Paige was using Luna to try to control my husband. He didn't allow it, and he is so good at keeping all contact through the parenting app and not engaging in drama. But sometimes Luna will come out with demands from her mom and say if my husband loved her, or if he wanted her to be happy, he'd do something. These can be things like spend the night at Paige's house to family days with the 3 of them.
Okay.
It's not simple to navigate, but my husband maintains firm boundaries and has Luna in therapy, and she's had some tough conversations with her about her request for him and Paige to spend time together and that they will not happen. My husband and I are expecting a baby boy together. Luna has been very indifferent, bordering on negative about him. Then suddenly, a few weeks ago, she told us she had name ideas for her brother. All the names sounded like they were from her mom. Her mom named Luna, not her real name, all names are fake, after a character in a franchise she loves. The boys' names Luna suggested were all from said franchise. The franchise isn't HP, but they were as obvious as Harry, Ron, and Draco as boy names would be. Then my husband saw messages between Luna and Paige where Paige was encouraging Luna to push the names and says she wouldn't love the baby if she couldn't name him, which she actually said. He saw these because Luna left the app page open on the family PC when she rushed outside to be with her BFF. So we said no to using any of the names. We said we had a name in mind already, technically 2, but it's definitely between these. Luna said we shouldn't expect her to love the baby then, and she stormed off. She told my husband's parents about it, and they were mad at us for not doing everything to get her excited for her brother. What the are you guys doing enabling this bullshit? They asked why I wouldn't tell my husband it doesn't matter who came up with the names first because Luna should feel included. I told them it only feeds Paige's want for control, and our son's name is not being decided by the woman who assaulted their son. They told my husband he was being dumb and playing into Paige's hands by alienating Luna in the process. I still disagree, and I don't want our son to be given a name we don't love, but I have some hesitations over this too because Luna isn't Paige, and if she does want them for any reason, I wonder if saying no to them is pushing her away. It's so hard. Am I the astronaut? How old is this girl now? She's 11.
11, okay. Yes, so she's 11 though.
She's being manipulated.
Look, chat got it before we did.
Yep, she's being 100% manipulated. And like your children, if your 11-year-old can't love their sibling because they don't get to choose the name, you got bigger problems.
I was going to say, even in a family where they hadn't separated and were having another baby, you still don't leave the name of the child up to the siblings unless that's the choice that you make. So even if they had never gotten divorced, if the DV hadn't happened, like it still wouldn't be up to the child to choose the baby's name. Like it would be up to the parents to sign off on the name. This isn't just, and to know that this woman is capable of just weaponizing her child left and right since she was young to weaponize her in this way is just, she's completely dismantling her chance at having like a normal functioning life by just filling her head with all of this drama and nonsense that, and like, instead of allowing her to be just a child and excited for her sibling, she's just weaponizing her at every chance to try to sabotage her dad's marriage.
Yep.
Like it's, I don't know why you would do this to your child.
So there are several concerns here. Obviously, this was a DV situation where it's 50-50 custody somehow.
And also, like,
because it
Judge.
Because the man was the victim of the DV.
100%.
So yeah, that's why. And now a child is in a potentially dangerous situation because where does that aggression go? And eventually, maybe not yet, but eventually, when she's a teenager and it gets mouthy enough and it escalates, is it going to get there? But like, how do you approach this with an 11-year-old that's clearly being manipulated? Like I don't know how you provide the context to say like, look, here's what's happening. Here's what we see happening right now. And we hope that eventually you see this, because what if we did the same thing that your mom does and said, if you don't do this, that means you don't love me? Or like, what if we tried to manipulate you the same way? We don't do that because it's not okay to treat other human beings that way. And the fact that your mom does that to you, it breaks our heart. And we wish you wouldn't allow that.
I don't know. This would have me back in court. And Aaron said on the YouTube side, he needs to take the child's text messages to a lawyer.
Yes.
Like take a screenshot, take a picture with your phone, whatever it is, but take them to a lawyer and show like
how she's manipulating.
How she is manipulating her own child and fight back. Ask, I don't know if you can change if the judge stays on the case or not, but I would try to get that changed to a different judge because this one was unwilling to. On what planet are you unwilling to listen to a case where like there's documented domestic violence and women can be abusive, women like all the things and can be just completely like black hole human beings, and that's what she's doing. And to me, this would be, I have proof, I'm taking this back to court, enough is enough.
Yeah. Because if you don't, OP, look at it this way. How long before Luna's mom is able to convince her to do something to harm the baby?
I know. And you're in a very difficult, hard situation, but you're bringing a new baby into this, and to feel comfortable in your own home, like, please.
Courts don't care.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
This is heartbreaking for everybody, but bio mom to be in the situation. Luna is 11, an 11-year-old kid. She's a pawn, right? She's a pawn, and she's been manipulated her whole life. So, and we don't even know what happens when she's over at her mom's house. Like it's heartbreaking to see a kid go through that. I don't know it'd be so difficult to try to have those conversations with an 11-year-old whose worldview has been shaped at this point. Like it's got to be some intensive therapy, but I do agree. Take those text messages to a lawyer. Taking legal action is the only way that you're going to have a chance to start repairing this. You've got to limit her contact and stop the bleeding, right? Like prevent her from having the ability to do further damage before you can start healing from it. As long as the damage is still continuing at the same pace,
right,
you're never going to heal this situation for Luna. So
I feel
poor Luna.
So bad for this child.
Yes. Am I the Astronaut for trying to set a boundary with my little sister after she opened my birthday present? 23 female, little sister is 13 female. I live back and forth between my mom's and my dad's house. All of my siblings are half siblings on my dad's side. I love my little sister, but lately I've been getting annoyed about certain boundaries she crosses. She's obsessed with face cream, hand cream, body spray, perfume, any hair products that smell good, lip gloss / balm. She has a very big collection of all these things. I once sat and counted how many lip stuff she has accumulated over the years, and I counted 37. Despite having tons of her own, she always asks to borrow mine and often ends up using the entire thing. One of my perfumes was almost completely used up because she would spray it at least 20 times every time she used it. All right, David Rose. It just needs time to air out. She gets upset if I don't share my stuff with her. For example, I got a body mist from Bath & Body Works recently because I loved the smell. I decided to leave it at my mom's house. My sister saw it in the background during a FaceTime and said, "Oh, that looks like it smells good. Can you bring it the next time you come here?" How does something look like it smells good? Also, by the way. And I jokingly said something along the lines of, "I think we've got more than enough perfume at Dad's," and she was visibly upset. I'm quite a patient person, so I rush all of this off because she's my little sister, and that's just what siblings do, right? But this recent situation has me really upset, and I don't know if I'm overreacting or not. So, it was my birthday on Tuesday. I went to my dad's to celebrate after work. When I sat down to open presents, I noticed that all of them were intact except one, of which the package had been ripped open and the contents removed. Weird. So I asked my little sister what happened, and she told me that it was one of my brother's gifts to me, a set that included hand cream, a nail file, a nail/cuticle oil, and a little nail clipper. And she really wanted to try it and couldn't wait for me to open it, so she decided decided to go ahead and open it herself and try everything out. Half the hand cream had been squeezed out of the tube, the nail file was used because it had those little telltale scratches on it, and the small nail/cuticle oil bottle wasn't closed properly, so it was also opened. I understand that in the grand scheme of things, this isn't a big deal, but it made me sad that she had just gone ahead and opened my gift like that without even thinking to consult me first. I said to her verbatim, "You need to stop thinking all of my things are automatically yours too." Her mom taught her that everything belongs to your siblings also belongs to you. What? Her philosophy, siblings share everything, so setting a boundary is very difficult. My sister got mad because I never share my things with her anymore, and I am purposefully leaving some of my stuff at my mom's place to avoid her using them. Her mom called me quite selfish for belittling my own sister for wanting to be closer to me by borrowing my things. Am I the astronaut? Will I be the astronaut if I continue to be harsh about these boundaries? Top comment. Where's your dad in all this? Why isn't he parenting her? Get a lock for your door. She has lost all privileges in your room, lost access to any of your stuff, and she should be grounded. Her allowance should be going to you until she's paid for your birthday present that she stole and ruined. This behavior is completely unacceptable. Your dad and his wife are doing her a massive disservice by not setting clear and enforced rules of behavior. They are also treating you horribly. This was your present, not hers. She stole it. None of her behavior is okay. They also have taught her that 20 sprays of perfume is assault on anyone with a sense of smell. I'm sorry. They also haven't taught her that 20 sprays of perfume is assault on anyone with a sense of smell. And flat out biological warfare on anyone that gets migraines from that shit. OP. This commenter is like, no.
Your stepmom saying that you're selfish because you didn't want your little sister to borrow your things. This was an unopened gift. This wasn't just taking something like that was in your room. This was an unopened birthday present, and her mom is like, yeah, it's fine, sibling share. No, that's not fine. You don't teach obviously we see where little sister has learned her behavior because her mom just doesn't fucking care that she opens other children's gifts. Like, that's, yeah, Sarah, it's literally stealing. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing over there?
Trying to figure out what the is happening here. What grown-ass human is gonna be like, you know what I'm gonna teach my kids? I'm going to teach my kids that they can just walk around and take whatever they want because people share. Boy, I can see this holding up great for adulthood. You're not introducing a fucking culture shock to her at all. The conversation I would be having with him in your shoes right now is, hey, there's some crazy shit going on in your house, and what your bizzo of a wife is teaching your guys' kids is up. So until further notice, I won't be coming back over. I'll FaceTime them. I'll still talk to them, but I am not going to be included in this shit because she is teaching them that it is okay to steal from me and open my birthday gifts. Look, if another kid opens a birthday gift that isn't theirs and their parent is like, I see nothing wrong here. Something's wrong with the parent. The parent is the problem here. Close your curtains so I don't have a view into your home. We moved into a new build a few months ago. We just received a mailed letter from a house that is behind ours. Note, there is a wash and a road between us. I shall type it word for word. Dear neighbor, congratulations on your new home. I live across the way from you in Sunflower. Although our homes are not very close to each other, I can see directly into your home from my living room and backyard. I can clearly see you as you walk around your kitchen and even when you get things from your refrigerator. While I am happy for new neighbors, I would prefer not to have a view into your home when I am in my living room and backyard. For your privacy, you may want to consider some blinds or curtains. I hope you enjoy your new home and neighborhood. Your neighbor, Carol. I wouldn't even get through the whole letter before my bare ass cheeks were pressed up against whatever window she was talking about. So let me get this right. We have to close our curtains so you can have yours open? You've been watching us in our house like a creep? You, Carol. My curtains will be open, and I think some naked dancing in the kitchen is required. Edited to add, Google tells me her window to mine is around 210 feet. 210 feet?
I did the math. For everyone that is looking at a football field right now, it's 70 yards.
Well, 70 yards is quite a ways.
70 yards. That's a long way.
She's like, I can clearly see you through my binoculars.
I'd have a sign in that window and it would say, "Stop looking at me, Swan." And then in another window, I'd have a different sign from movies.
You know, in Home Alone, when he uses like the curtains, but has the lights and the shadows doing the things, I would do the same thing.
Oh, I know what you would do.
But the shadows would be having a time.
The other window says shampoo is better.
And that's when you finally get curtains or shades or blinds or something up, right? I think rolling without that for a while would be a good idea. From 70 yards away.
Carol got some new glasses or something.
I mean,
let's be real here.
I can see you
As you get things out of your refrigerator. What the fuck are you looking at, Carol? Like, why are you observing me in this? Yeah, I would be naked so fast. Like, just walking around.
butt cheeks,
Yeah.
pressed up against the glass in a heartbeat. I would still be reading the letter and be like pressed up against the glass. Man.
Hey, Dusty Thunder here, and I wanted to thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that content, and if you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and most importantly, share. Also, you can find swag and so much more at dusty-thunder.com, and you'll find even more content on all of our platforms. We're on TikTok, YouTube. We now have an official Facebook page that we'll be posting stories to as well. We have podcasts on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and so much more. You can see all of our content platforms on Linktree, which is linked in my bio. Engage with us wherever you're enjoying content, and do your best to avoid the Askonauts today. Thanks again.